Good morning, everybody. What a pretty day it is so far. Welcome back to In the Garage. We're gonna be working on this hood on this 57 today, and we're gonna be trying to get the passenger side fender off this car. Worked on it a little bit yesterday, and there's a few bolts stuck, and then it got rained out, so I went in and soaked it down with some PB, and we'll get on it shortly. But first, I gotta fix my boo-boo from a few days ago. And so I've got the hood sanded down, and really all I'm gonna do is just wax and grease, remove what's left, and tack it off, and mix up some epoxy primer and get a good coat of epoxy primer on, probably two. And what I'll do is I'll dust the first coat, meaning not a full wet coat, and make sure we're not going to have any weird reactions. And then we'll let that sit there for a good 20 minutes or so, and before we add our second wet coat. And we'll be done with the hood. We'll let it dry, and then move it off to the side, and we'll see if we can get this fender off and get it in here and start working on it. Y'all hang tight.
7 days, 7 nights since my head got cut and died. And I've had 7 days since I tried to rip a chapter out my mind. I've tried, and his laugh is just as soft as yours, smiling
Right,
just
so
as
we
wide.
got the hood primed. So far, I'll spin you around, take a look at it. So far, no bubbles, no weird anomalies. So we're gonna let that set for a while, and make sure it's gonna behave. I'll walk you out here and we'll look at what the next thing we're gonna do. We got to take this fender off. So I've got these bolts that go down through there. Got those off. I've got some problem children, and I don't know if I'll be able to get you in there to see it. There's two bolts back here that are they're not wanting to move. See if I can get you focused. Yeah, two bolts right back in there. That one, and you can see a lot of stuff I'm gonna have to fix. I don't know how much metal is here. I don't want to replace anything. This is very much a budget build, so if there's enough metal here, then I'm just gonna weld in a patch panel, and we'll fix that. By the looks of it, I see this little pinhole right here, so that sort of lets you know there ain't a whole lot of metal there. But my other two problem children are gonna be this one. So the fender has rusted away from the back bracing, so but it's still attached in the back, so we've got to get this bolt out. And you won't be able to see these, but in here there's another bolt back here that goes down from the top of this lip up under here, and that one's giving me a hard time. So see if we can get those out of there after I get my big gorilla hand out of the way. And I don't know how much luck we're gonna have. Worst case scenario, I'm gonna have to cut the heads off of them, or take a air chisel. A couple of them I won't be able to get a cutting wheel into, so might have to air chisel them out. I don't want to, because it still leaves a part of the bolt that's got to come out somehow, and I'd probably have to drill it out. But I'd rather them just break loose. So I'll bring you back and we'll see how it goes. All right, so this is as far as we've got so far. Boy, it is hot. Still haven't got the fender off. I broke a couple of bolts, which is fine. I'll just have to drill those out. There's one that's really giving me a hard time. Probably going to end up taking an air chisel and just popping the head off it real quick so I can get this fender off. But I want to spin you around, and we'll take a look at the hood. We finally got it done. I see 0 bubbles of any kind, and we'll let that thing dry for several hours, and then we'll get it up out of the way. We'll probably, so we can move on to the fender if I can ever get this thing off. So stay tuned, and I'll keep you updated on the progress. Well, as you can see, my day got cut short. It's actually a blessing in disguise. Good gosh almighty, it was hot. I finally, about 3 o'clock or so, I just finally called it quits. Went in, took me a cool shower, relaxed for a few minutes, and then about 45 minutes I come back out here. Got the door off. There was a change of plans. That fender does not want to come off. In a future video, I'm gonna get that fender off, and there's a couple of little things that I've learned. There's no videos, so it's been hit and miss, but it has ductwork that runs in between the fender and the inner fender for air, and I want to take the inner fender and the outer fender off at the same time. And so in order to do that, I've got to take the ductwork loose from the firewall. So I had to figure out how to get that loose. I haven't got it. Yeah, I've got it loose, but there is a vent cable that has to be disconnected to that ductwork. So that's what I was doing when it decided to start coming a downpour. So it is what it is. But anyway, I don't remember whether I showed or not. Anyway, got the fender hood done. So in spite of everything that went wrong with that hood, it turned out fantastic, and I learned a great deal, specifically what not to do. So I won't do that again. But anyway, I'm gonna end it off here, and thanks for watching, and we'll see you on the next.